I would be going Sir Galahad over Mrs. Claus and Snow Angel. I don't think I'm going to buy the King Lion yet. I've been liking Sir Galahad recently, and I've been going a lot of royals. I don't feel like being pigeonholed here, so we'll just grab Sir Galahad really quick. Wow, so I actually think it's worth pausing here to get the second dragon, so I think we'll grab this and pause. Next turn we'll grab the dragon, and we'll try to get off to a treasure heavy start. Note that all neutral characters does mean there's a lot of spells we won't be able to cast. It also, getting the treasure when you don't have very many characters also isn't a huge advantage. It's a fine advantage, but it's not huge. So, it's not that you don't want to get the treasures, it's just that sometimes it makes sense to wait a little bit. I actually don't mind waiting here either. They're only going to have one character, so if we get a Mim and buff it, do we even want to buff the Mim though? Yeah, I think so. If we get a Mim and buff it, then we can lock and grab these two things next turn, and we'll probably win the fight because they usually only have one character. And the Mim also sets up a Polywoggle to transform, which we'll probably try to do as soon as we hit level 3. I do like just having a Mim. I feel like it enables a lot of strategies. Yes, they only have one character. We're able to trade into it cleanly. Huh. In the interest of buying a bunch of characters, it might be worth it to do this in lock. To do the shrink spell in lock. We'd be buying probably cat and dragon, with the idea being that we don't want the we'd rather have the cat get the slay this turn than the Polywoggle. So I think we're going to cast it anyways. It allows us to do the same things. We'll grab this one, and maybe do a swapperoo to balance out the stats. We'll lock here. We're definitely giving up a little bit. Maybe it would have been better. It probably would have been better to buy the tiny, sell the tiny, and just lock the Polywoggle. I always talk about doing this, and I always forget. But I think that's what we should have done. Hopefully we'll get the extra gold, and it will sort of give us a little boost anyways. It's not terrible to have a cheap tiny, a one-cost tiny, but it's not what we want on our board. Okay, there we go. We actually take out the... Oh no, they get the double anyways, right? Yeah, never mind. I thought that it's not the slay, it's the double last press. I was getting my characters mixed up. Ooh. Well, we love treasures, so we love this, but we also, I think, just love leveling. If Gwen hasn't found anything, it's possible that leveling is just going to be the ticket here. Or do we buy the whole board? Which, unfortunately, isn't very strong is the issue. It's a pretty weak board. Buy the whole board and then try to grab this on the next turn when we have 6 or 7 gold. I don't think I want to buy this board. Let's grab this. Even if it ends up being 1 gold, we'll just have to be fine with that. If she hasn't found a 3-drop to buff, or if she hasn't used a knighthood yet, I think we have a good shot. If she has, we'll probably get smoked, but we still bought 1 XP. We're not going to get this tiny. And we'll, we have some characters that are good to buff. Okay, we got the transform. Oh, this is a situation where we really wanted our supports up front. Yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, had we had our supports up front and not got greedy with the slays, would have shot. This is a good one to flip though, right? I like flipping that one. I don't love any of these. Let's roll. Wow, okay. We always on dwarfs. I think we're looking at selling a cat here. What if we were to sell a cat and we get Adventurer and we get Good Witch? That makes Nutcracker very big. That makes Adventurer actually ends up with 6 attack. That has to be right. I don't know if it has to be right. It seems right. Getting a treasure from this would be fantastic. It buffs everything. Getting some levels from this would be great. I don't think we're going to wait to buy this because we're going to hit 4. And if we're hitting 4, we can just buy 4 drops rather than buy something that puts us at 4 in 1 tick. It's great to have the advantage. You know, we could be 4 in 1 tick anyways, but we're not getting to 5 by buying this. And we don't want to spend our turns when we're ahead, getting incrementally more ahead, but not in such a way that it actually allows us to materialize that advantage, I think. I think that's my thinking here. I don't know if it's correct. Wow, got sniped. Okay, well. It's been quite the start so far. We will lose this fight. It's actually better that we don't summon the cats, I guess, so we take a little less damage. Is there anything we want to buy before we activate the dragon? Do we want a Princess P is the question, I guess. Princess P is strong if we throw her right here. Although we kind of need the adventurer right there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I really don't like Princess P. But I think I'm going to do that. It makes us strong for the moment. Next, we wouldn't mind a 5-drop treasure off this Nutcracker. Double cast a spell. That makes everything a little bigger. Okay, let's get you in front of some supports. I'm going to end up going like this, I think. Yeah. Everything got fairly big. Of course, we still have a dragon last. Do we want to move everything over? Like this? Yeah, that seems fine. You know, we reduce the chance of this slaying a little bit, but we still give ourselves a shot at it. And we let the dragon go first and hopefully take out some supports. And they do have supports. And we do get the slay, so nothing to complain about here. Oh, this managed to not get hit by anything? Okay. I'm not complaining, because I said nothing to complain about. That was the deal we had. Grab a chicken. Looking for stuff that gives us treasures. Oh, I actually like buffing her. We don't have any upgraded princes or princesses still. Nothing great. Do we want another one? I mean, obviously, if we can get her to slay, that'd be great. If we can double up, we get a treasure, which is nice. She would only come in with 4 attack, is the issue. Is that ever going to slay? We probably have to move some stuff around, move the chicken. Then we tell the chicken, move her over. No, because we don't want to use the slot they were giving to her. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. You know, I actually think I'm fine with her being, the dragon being last at this point. The thinking being that we want this to be fighting earlier, and she has 13 attack, which I think is likely to slay. Even though this isn't a great slay turn because we're going to get to 5, and if we slay we get to 5 and 1, but I still think this will be at. And you know, Princess P is still providing a lot of beef, which is nice. You know, lets us maneuver a little bit differently. Trading with the chicken is probably not what they had in mind when they had that dragon, so. Oh, I think we lose this one. Oh no. I think we still got. We got 1 slay, and I think we got 1 hit off this thing. So that's not bad. Do you want us to get to 6 next turn? We already have this adventure. We can guarantee the adventure. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh. It's actually interesting. It's probably not good, right? But you could get a... You could imagine getting a treasure here, buffing the doubly quite substantially and getting a high ho. I think it's just not good enough. But I'm trying to think about it. I wonder if it's better to sell the Mim and grab a Lady of the Lake to buff the Nutcracker. I think it probably is. Then we'll put this back in front. Now we want this to be buffed by 2 things. Am I messing this up? What buff do we care more about? We'll go like this. Okay, so we just want to get to 6 this turn. We'll probably take a little bit of damage. But we'll get a 5-drop treasure, hopefully. Yes, we do. Perfect, perfect. We just got there. Oh, looks like this will actually get a sleigh. Oh, it won't get the chance, but it would have got the sleigh even without the Grimsoul. I don't know if the Grimsoul was worth it. It's hard to tell. Plus 15 is actually a lot. I think I'm going to take this. It just helps us stabilize. Just double cast a spell too. Nothing interesting. So we're looking for things with sleighs. We're ready to sell this. We're looking for 6s. Oh, and here's a 6. But we can't buff it because we just spent our buffs in a sort of foolishy way. Here's another 6. I think we want them both. Oh, and here's a Shoulder Fairies. So 1, 2, 3 is how we get there. And that obviously doesn't feel great. But this isn't about making us feel great, right? This is about being as strong as possible. 1, 2, is that what I said? 1, 2, oh, this needs both buffs. And 3 here. I'll grab this. I guess we actually want this to be further forward. Something along these lines. So, it looks like the Lady of the Lake will get the plus 15, which is great. This person's at 4. We're at 6 when we're playing someone at 4. There's a couple people at 6, a couple people at 4. I don't think we want the Evil Twin. You could Evil Twin the Hercules. You know, I'm going to lock here just in case we decide to do some wild stuff. I don't know that we will, but I could imagine us doing it and it'd be pretty funny. Not that we're doing it because we're funny, although it's not a bad idea to do stuff for just the fun of it, but... Well, that thing is huge. Oh, we take it down. So that survives at 1. Yeah, looks like we'll lose this eventually. They did have a Juliet, right? Yeah, they did. Okay, so we take 7. Wow. That was a tough one, although, of course, we were coming to the table short a character. What if we grab another Hercules? Is that really stupid? With the idea being that they'll triple eventually, hopefully soon. I don't think it's worth getting a princess. We're sort of done with her. So I've always seen a ton of stuff. Who got out? Muerte? And I think we'd rather have... Oh, he's not the good one, though. We'd rather have the Hercules get buffed, although it doesn't do a ton here. Alternatively, we could have made an evil Robin Hood, which would have made us really strong, but we're sort of greeding for the double treasure, which we might not have time to complete. We'll have to see if this one actually finishes, if either of them even finish before, you know, the game's ending. And getting the treasures is a marginal benefit with this also, but I think that's sort of outside the realm of what we're talking about at this point. We are mostly looking for the value of the level 6 treasure. Okay, these are pretty small, which is nice. I'd love if things would attack this. Okay, no, that's not what we're looking for. We don't mean ranged characters attacking that. Oh no. Okay, so these didn't really get too close to triggering. I don't think we're going to buy a buff here. We're just looking for some good sixes. A buff is fine, but nothing special. Again, I think we want 6 drops. Ashwood does buff the Robinwood quite a bit. Oh, yeah, Ashwood buffs both these things. It buffs 2 things. It's a 25/25 itself. Grab a chicken. We can convert this to something better. Evil animals, not. I don't know how I describe it. It's not how you describe it. It's more of a. Put this further forward. Something along these lines seems good. Yeah, so we'll just have some big trees. Maybe we'll transition that way. I do like having... Is this going to give +15/+15 to this first? What is it? No, it's abilities trigger then treasures, because that's how round table works. I mean, hopefully this... If this ability triggers, then we get the buff on the Lady of the Lake, I guess, is what we're going for. We don't want this buff to hit the Ashwood, because it seems like we'll just have a lot of attack there and not much else. And this person's just, I think everyone's hit 6 now. This person said 4. It feels like they weren't actually at 4 because they were 4 like 2 turns ago. Although it's possible, right? Okay, so this is down to 40. That's a start. A lot of buffs being thrown around. Oh, this one needs to get into combat. There we go. Please hit this one. Please, somebody. Right here. There we go. Perfect. We get the 6 drop. Yes, this is great, and I think we're going to win this fight, right? Yes, we do. Perfect. And we knock someone out, so we are not last. Oh, actually, we're not 6th. Perfect. I didn't realize a couple people got knocked out already. Although I feel like I should have known that, because I think we fought a ghost at some point. I think it's just Ivory Owl here. Doubling spell could be good too, but I think Ivory Owl gives some important buffs. I'm also looking for trees here. Ooh, Good Boy's interesting. We do have a lot of evil characters. No, Good Boy's gonna be nice here though, because we'll put it up front. I'm gonna replace. We're replacing a couple things, but the Good Boy's gonna get +15/+15, and I think that's pretty good. And what else do we need? And we'll take the second Good Boy with the hopes that we find third Good Boy soon. I think we're still going to leave the 40/40 on board. Oh, will it get the buff? Because it... Oh yeah, because it's abilities and then Gosling. So this will get its own buff here, right? Am I reading this correctly? This person looks strong too. There we go. Yeah, it's a 20/20. Oh, it took out that guy. So they actually have a similar build to us, although they have a nice... Oh, we would love if that would trigger eventually. We'd love if our good characters would stop dying before they get the chance to shoot. That was a good hit for us. Unfortunately, that isn't. So we will lose this fight, but I don't think we don't die here. And as long as we're in, we are growing every turn. We did get lucky. We're fighting a clone. Ashwood is a nice thing to buff. So we could just get a knighthood here. Okay, we'll just sell this one, grab a knighthood. Although my issue is that without the round table, there's only so much utility here. Although we're just gonna hope that this levels, I think. Yeah, I think we're supposed to do that. Because this will give a ton of... It's going to give 100 attack or so, because it's going to keep getting buffed. We'll hit the 6-drop treasure off this. I don't even know which one we'll take. Probably Magic Sword if it's available. Which actually means this is not nearly as good anymore. But then we try to triple this the next turn, get another 6-drop. I guess replace the Gosling. Oh, the Gosling is actually really nice with us here. Yeah, I don't really know, obviously. And every treasure we get will buff everything. I mean, hopefully we win the fight. If we lose the fight, none of this is, these are all just words. And they actually have a pretty good board against us. Oh no, we're not going to get the 6-drop treasure because it got sniped by our own ranged character. Oh, wow. That's rough. That's rough for us. We might have to just get rid of that Hercules. Because I don't think we're going to have time. I imagine we'll be fighting... Oh no, okay, she won. Get our evil good boy. Wow, none of these are really super appealing. We're going to take the spear. It's good with all the range characters we have. But yeah, I'm not confident here. Ooh, and has Good Boy become bigger than... it became bigger than Lady of the Lake. Wow. So that's actually bad for us because, I guess, I mean, the Lady of the Lake getting the buff isn't the worst thing in the world, right? But it is sort of not what we were looking for when we were trying to get all those buffs. I guess we want Hercules earlier. Makes it more likely to actually attack. The fact that our front line is mostly evil characters with Good Boy is a little strange, but they're not too bad against... You know, it's not too bad because these might get taken out, and we have 2 range characters getting buffed, which is huge. If Good Boy gets to attack, it's +5/+5, which means it gives +10/+10. Everything's getting +2/+2. I mean, we haven't fought them in a long time. They could be very, very strong. It looks like they are. Well, that will trigger now. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of big stuff. This has 200 health somehow. I don't know how they managed that, but... Any chance it just attacks this thing, and then we can... Oh, we're still 20 attacks short, and we died by 1 health. Wow. Very close game. Very interesting. We almost turned the corner. We got a 3rd place, though. Pretty good.